Okay. Okay. I got it.
That's what she said. It'll come.
Okay.
Just keep beating it up and it'll come.
Okay.
All right.
Doesn't work like that, all right?
All right. Yo, what's up? Welcome to the Last Re-Up podcast. Today we
My name is Chai.
No.
That's I am. That's B.
Yes,
Faye. He's still stuck.
Yeah, I'm still stuck. This is why I hate doing it in the morning, yo. I don't feel like I'm awake yet.
Oh.
Yeah, but yo, so I took Nico to go watch The Flash, right?
Yeah.
Oh my god, that movie sucked, dude.
I thought you were gonna say it was pretty good.
Hell no. That movie sucked. I am not a fan.
Is it DC still?
Yeah, The Flash is still DC.
Why? Well, what was wrong with it? Like, what did you not like about it that was so bad?
I think the only
Like, what bothered you the most?
it's because I kind of compared it to the CW Flash, and it's the television Flash, and it's totally different. And I guess I just got more. I just expected more out of it, and it just didn't meet the expectation. So that's what made it kind of suck.
Was the trailer pretty badass?
They made the trailer pretty badass, but it was pretty dumb. They made like Wonder Woman come out, but it was like
Yeah, I heard there was a lot of cameos by.
it was
a lot of-
dumb. It was so.
They
dumb.
thought that would be the selling point was to have a
Yeah.
bunch of old school actors come on.
Yeah, like
Old
have
ones, yeah.
Wonder Woman come out, but she only came out like out of the whole movie, it was only like maybe 5 minutes or something. Yeah. It was
Oh,
not a-
spoiler alert!
Well,
You forgot to put spoiler disclaimer.
Wait,
Sorry.
so what is that movie even about?
Yeah, what is it?
So it's about him going back to the past and kind of some with his powers. He loses his. What is it about?
I don't know. You watched it.
Dude, that movie's pretty bad. If you don't even know what the storyline is about.
Literally, I slept the first I fell asleep. Like,
Wait,
the
you
first-
slept?
Yeah, dude. I fell like asleep the first 30 minutes of the movie, so I don't know what the first 30 minutes of the movie was about. 'Cause it was that
Sleeping
freaking
in the
boring.
theaters. It's a great nap, though, right? when
Dude,
you
that's
fall
like
asleep in the freaking
Background. That's like background noise and shit.
Yeah.
But I really don't remember what that movie was about. The first 30 minutes, I don't remember.
I think they were trying to use that movie to restart the
the
DCU universe
Yeah,
again.
taking it
The
from
whole DC universe.
The
movie.
dark seriousness is kind of the light comedy feel.
Yeah, they're trying to reset it with that
Yeah.
movie, but I guess it. bombed
I'm just not the
harder.
fan of the main character either.
The actor.
Yeah. I
Oh.
forgot what his name was.
Ezra Miller.
Yeah.
Ezra Miller.
Yeah, Ezra Miller. Yeah.
They had a chance to fire him, but they didn't fire him. They took him back.
Yeah. I read somewhere that the writers of Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse was supposed to do the Flash movie, but
Oh, really?
WB let them go.
Oh.
Yeah, they should have used a CW Flash to play, but I don't know. I'm not a fan of.
Those are
main
TV
character.
actors.
Yeah.
TV actors are
Yeah, the things that they have,
C-list.
they have their contract to do too. So I don't know how all that shit works.
So, talking about movies, recently, have y'all heard of the term "go woke, go broke"?
Yeah.
No, I
Look
have
at Bud
not.
Light. Look at Bud Light.
Yeah. So, like in media and marketing, especially a lot of movies right now, right? There's this woke movement that's like changing all. They're trying to insert all these woke messages into these movies. That's why they like all the movies suck recently.
Mm-hmm.
And the reason why this topic is hot right now is because of Indiana Jones, right? One of the biggest franchises ever. Like, I don't know if you guys watch, but you guys have heard of Indiana Jones, right? Even though you don't watch it, you just know of
We
that
know of
character.
it, Yeah.
Yeah, that's how big he is. But Disney pretty much put out Indiana Jones 5. And what they did was a bait and switch where Indiana Jones isn't really the main character, but his quote unquote, not quote unquote, but his granddaughter, the character,
Oh,
his
really?
goddaughter or whatever,
Mm.
kind of takes the main role. And she is, your cliche, quote unquote, strong woman. So now she's like, does everything Indiana Jones does, has no feminine qualities. So she's like a shell character, and
There's
everybody
no-
hated that.
There's no build up to improving the character.
Yeah, like she just popped out. Oh, I'm better than men. Like I could do anything men can do, kind of feel.
I mean, that's just like any kind of trope right now through all the movies, cartoons, animes, and everything right now.
I mean, you could
Yeah.
you could
Yeah,
look at Marvel too. Marvel was trying to get into making female superheroes too.
yeah,
Yeah.
and that's a lot of complaints from the viewing audiences. Like Doctor Strange is another bait and switch, right? Where it wasn't really his movie; it was Scarlet Witch and the Chavez girls' movie.
Yeah, yeah.
You have Obi-Wan Kenobi. A lot of fans are saying the TV show focuses on that the assassin girl that's trying to hunt him down and stuff, and she's more of the main character. And so Hollywood is doing this like
Seen it.
bait and switch where they're taking characters that people like,
Hmm.
put it on the poster board, but when you go watch the movie, it's all about like all these woke issues,
They're not.
gender swapping, race swapping.
There's no just like an ideation of a good story being told.
Yeah.
Where it's being forced.
Yeah, and like Disney for Indiana Jones, they're estimated to lose like up to $400 million on this movie, in the struggling. Their Disney's stock right now is at $87 or something, and it's the lowest. It was like 85 at the beginning of the pandemic, and that was because all the movies shut down. Right, the industry shut down, and it's $87 right now. That's how bad Disney has it going right now.
That's the thing is that Disney don't make a lot of movies like Netflix. All their movies are focused towards like kids, so you know. Like, you
Well,
gotta make
even their kid
cartoons.
movies are failing. Like Elemental, it's
Yeah,
failing.
yeah.
If it's a really bad flop right now too.
Yeah.
Yeah, like so, like across the whole, and Marvel is failing. Disney's Marvel is part of Disney, I guess.
Yeah. Marvel is
Yeah.
Disney.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yup. So that's why Marvel has to come out with movies every year.
Yeah. So, how do you guys understand wokeness? Like, what is wokeness to you guys, or what do you guys know?
When
What
you,
does that word mean? To be woke.
when you wake up? I mean,
Like, what do you know about the wokeness movement? Let's start there, so we could define it first.
so I know wokeness before it was this kind of wokeness was all about equality and racism, systemic racism, and all that stuff. That's how I thought of wokeness to be, but I think wokeness has become too way too liberalized, and it's just kind of
Gone
made it
tribal.
Yeah,
Like
it's
it's moved too far from its original.
yeah.
It got
meaning,
involved too much into like a victimhood mentality of wokeness, where like
Yeah.
wokeness was just about
Or it's being used now.
bringing light to like things that are happening that like, hey, like,
Yeah.
you know, it's
So it was a serious, legit movement before. But
yeah.
now are people not taking it
they're
serious? It's
taking
more
advantage of
annoying
it.
now. It's
Yeah.
Is it kind of like a Karen now?
Now it's
Because they know they could get away with
It's-
some stuff.
it's now it has become a nuisance in people's lives.
Yeah.
I think it becomes more of a nuisance where it's just like man,
Well, I think originally wokeness was supposed to be geared towards systemic racism
Yep.
specifically. I think
Towards
before.
black people, though. And they made this movement, and then wokeness was created for systemic racism for like black people. And then it kind of
Evolved.
ventured off
Yeah.
into
Yeah, now it's encompassing gender, is encompassing
Yeah,
a lot of
yeah.
other
Yeah.
things as well. A lot of other groups as well.
yeah.
Yeah, and so when you see a movie that, so let's break it down, right? So like let's talk about like race. The Little Mermaid movie,
Mhm.
right?
Mhm.
She's a black actress now instead of white, like in the cartoons.
Hmm.
Is that okay to do? Because the Little Mermaid is a creature, fictional, not even a real thing. So nobody really knows what a mermaid
Yeah,
looks like,
it was-
right?
It was like a Norwegian
Yeah.
Norwegian folk tale of just
Or yeah, that's my other
Yeah.
point is, or is it, since it's Norwegian, do we need to stick close to that Norwegian heritage? There's no black people in Norwegian in the 1800. I don't know when this story, the original Little Mermaid book was put out,
Yeah.
but there's no black people during that time. So do we need to take that into consideration, like Norwegian culture? Is that important? Or do we just say it's an alien, it's a mermaid, it's a creature, it could be anything. Don't make a big deal of it.
Yeah, I don't think it's that big of a deal. It's just like how Asian people, like the Asian community was like, how come Scarlett Johansson was getting all the Asian female characters?
Character roles.
Yeah,
like,
character roles.
Yeah, I was gonna bring that up next. Is that not a double standard though?
Yeah,
Like
exactly,
how
that's what I'm
Asians
saying.
are mad that Scarlett Johansson played anime
Mhm.
characters,
Mhm.
and why can't white people be mad that a black girl is playing a white mermaid,
White
even though it's fictional? Anime
Yeah.
characters are fictional
Yeah.
too,
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
so we could technically make them any race we want.
Mhm.
Same thing with Batman, right? The Batman Begins, the first one. Ra's al Ghul is supposed to be Asian, but it was Liam Neeson. Liam Neeson got casted.
Yeah,
Oh
just-
yeah, yeah.
Yeah, the main bad guy is supposed to be of Asian descent, but
Mhm.
yeah, here he is. Like,
Mhm.
so is that a double standard? Like, how come minorities can complain about whitewashing, but white people can't complain about blackwashing or minority washing or other race swap? Is that? Do we need to go really deep into white culture and split? Like where they actually come from, and if it's actual like Little Mermaid's a Norwegian story or a Dutch story or whatever, then we can't gender swap because it comes from that region, or it's like people were mad that one of the characters in Star Wars was a black dude now, and people were like, why are you mad that there's a black dude? It's a universe full of alien races.
Yeah.
Like,
That's freaking.
yeah, so is that a double standard that us as a minority complain about whitewashing, but then when we gender swap their stories or whatever, I mean not race swap, then we don't let them complain though?
Yeah, for me, it's like you're taking a character that we grew up with and seeing, and all you see is just the same white characters, and then all of a sudden, when you grow up, it's another. It's like exactly like how Little Mermaid was. You're used to the white character, seeing Little Mermaid as a white character. Now wokeness just kind of wanted to bring like the black girl into it just because they want to bring the black girl into it. And they said
Yeah.
the Little Mermaid flopped too. They said the Little Mermaid didn't make a lot
Mermaid
of
is
money.
flopping too, yo.
Yeah, because not a lot of people want to go watch it.
Mm-hmm.
The graphics was so bad.
That was one of the reasons too. Again, Disney's just doing this like super realistic thing, like Sebastian the Crab,
Yeah.
stupidest
Yeah,
character
stupidest
looking
characters,
character
yeah.
ever. Like
I think
I had no connection to that crab at all. It was just a voice
They,
speaking in the water. I wasn't even looking at the
people
crab.
needed
like,
to do like in Sonic the Hedgehog, like part 1 when the trailer came
yeah,
out,
like
people,
actually just cartoon.
bullied the
Yeah.
crap out of the freaking studios where they changed it to like
Yeah, the original
having
Sonic.
the original Sonic the
Yeah.
Hedgehog live trailer was so bad that they bullied pretty much the studio to change it.
I don't know.
Yeah, is that not a double? When we just talk about like race swapping, is that not a double standard though? What do you think, B?
I don't know. I just feel like, why is this such a big deal? Why is this such a, like, honestly, like, why is this such a huge issue?
I think it stems from. Oh, that's a good question. It stems from like minority. We want to see ourselves representative in mainstream media too.
Yeah.
But now it's to the extent where they're just doing it at every turn of the corner. They're just doing it to do it now, even though it doesn't make sense to the story or
Yeah,
whatever.
it feels forced whenever you just put in a character who's just not.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So the question is, minorities complain about whitewashing. Why are we swapping all of these characters that don't make sense to be a minority? Like we're having black people play soldiers in like Roman times and like whatever back in history, where there is no black people in that region or in that many black people in that region at that time. So it's historically, another one is Netflix has put out the Cleopatra. Have y'all heard about
I
that?
think they
No.
just ran out of actors and actors.
So that was a big controversy too. Was Netflix's Cleopatra?
Yeah, the one directed by Jaded Pinkett,
Yeah.
produced or something like that.
They
Yeah.
made they just didn't race swap and put a black actress. They actually said Cleopatra was black in there,
Yeah.
which is historically
False.
incorrect.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
And
yeah,
the-
yeah, yeah.
Yeah. What about something like that, where is it super extreme, where you're just making up history now? Like,
Yeah, and then I think
And I think
yeah.
the country actually came back and said no.
Oh yeah, like all of
The-
Egypt
the-
is like
Yeah, the whole Egyptian
He
council and
wasn't
all
a
the
black
yeah,
man.
like they're like historical museum board or whatever. He stepped in and even said stuff.
It's like Brad Pitt trying to play Noomplay.
I mean,
that'd be tight.
It's exactly that, you know, like.
Yeah.
So is that like
Would
that's
you
what
guys be
Hollywood is
mad?
doing? Like,
Yeah, like would you guys be mad? Brad Pitt playing Noomplay and like during that era, there's not a lot of freaking white
Yeah.
people. What the fuck?
Okay, now what about Robert Downey Jr. doing blackface with Tropic Thunder?
I think that's more of a comedy though.
So that's okay to do then if it's a comedy?
Yeah, well, yeah. The way that they did it was, he's an actor playing an actor playing an actor.
Yeah, it's like a parody. So
Yeah, that was the mindset wasn't a serious movie. It was just oh yeah, this is a spoof. This is
yeah,
just a freaking movie.
yeah.
Thunder.
Yeah, and that
So-
didn't take itself too seriously.
So where do we draw the line? When is it okay to make fun of race stereotypes, and when is it not okay to do like a race swap in a movie? Where do we draw that line? What's fair and what's not fair?
I think
Right?
it depends on the genre of the movie. I think if it's like a comedy movie, sure, that's fine.
Yeah, anything
Yeah.
goes in comedy. It's
Yeah,
for the
yeah.
laugh.
Like you could have a black dude playing Santa Claus or Asian dude playing a Santa Claus. That's funny as hell.
Yeah.
But
But we can't have that in real life. That's why. That's what
I
I'm
mean,
trying to
it is
say.
in real life, but in the back of our head, we all
We'll come back to
envision-
that. That's a good
Yeah,
point.
but deep down, you want a big fat white dude with the Santa
Yeah.
with the white beard. That's
in our head, we envision a white Santa Claus. 'cause
Well, like
Yeah.
we
even
grew
well,
up
like
with.
even that, right? Santa Claus is, I don't know what the correct term to say it, but I'm just gonna say it. It comes from a white culture, doesn't it? Like
Yeah.
Santa Claus,
Yeah,
Saint
exactly.
Nick.
It comes
Exactly.
Saint Nick. Yeah, it is. Saint
Yeah, I don't know the
Climbing
exact
chimney,
history,
something
but it
like
comes
that.
from some.
Well, it's more of a Christian thing.
Yeah, yeah. Oh yeah,
Celebrate.
yeah, right.
Celebrate.
Oh yeah, Jesus Christ, Jesus' birthday.
Yeah,
Duh,
yeah.
duh.
So,
I don't know.
Yeah, so but now people, yeah, like you're saying, right? We want to see black Santa Clauses at the mall to represent ourselves. We want to see Asian Santa Clauses. Like, is that not cultural appropriation? Is that are we not stealing white culture?
Shit, I don't know.
Or is that a religious? Is that religious? Then I
think
guess.
it's more like a religious thing then. Yeah, because if you believe in the Bible and Jesus Christ and all that stuff, that's more like a religious thing. But we're just so used to seeing a white guy play Santa Claus that it just looks weird.
But let's say Santa Claus is real, right? Wouldn't that be a white person though?
Wouldn't it be a white person?
Yeah, chances are Santa Claus would be a white person, right?
I mean, Santa Claus, white
Be
people.
a Native American, dude. Duh. There's a difference.
Logically,
Santa
Yeah,
Claus-
logically,
Santa Claus is
no.
American, not.
Yeah, Native American, technically. With the tribes up there, duh.
Yeah, so like this woke movement, when it comes to race swapping, where do we draw the line, right? Now we're talking about Santa Claus and movies, and we're race swapping Santa Claus just to see ourselves, right?
Yeah.
Where do we draw the line? Is that's okay, I guess. Nobody's out there protesting Black Santa Claus for race swap.
Or an Asian Santa Claus. Korean Jesus, come on now. Korean Jesus.
is that 22 Jump Street?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Duh.
You gonna
Yeah,
see
Korean Jews ain't got time for you.
Kim Jong Un as a freaking Santa Claus.
So, do you guys feel like you guys need to be represented in mainstream media? Like, do you guys want to see more Asian main roles?
I mean, I personally wouldn't care. I don't
It doesn't
really
matter to
care
you?
too much. If I like the movie, I like the movie. If I don't like the movie, if he played that role pretty good, then it's
But don't you want to see more Asian superheroes?
it's just like in Shang-Chi.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like Sanchi was made just to appease the
The
Asian
Asian
community
community.
somewhat.
Yeah,
That's
yeah,
I
yeah.
feel like that's one of the reasons why it was made.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But like how in Crazy Rich Asian, you can have Crazy Rich Asian but have a cast full of fucking white people. That would be kind of weird.
Right, but weren't you happy that Crazy Rich Asians did so good?
Mm-hmm.
Did you feel some type of way that you're
Mhm.
Asian and an Asian movie did so good in the
Yeah.
theaters?
Yeah.
Well, what about Sunisa Lee winning the Olympics? Aren't you proud to be Hmong?
Yeah.
Does that not matter to you?
I mean, honestly,
Yeah, it matters.
Yeah.
it matters a little bit, but that doesn't represent me. I didn't do shit. She did. She takes all the credit.
Yeah,
why
but
do,
just
why
to
do
put-
I have to feel like I'm fucking the best right now.
Well,
like-
not that you feel like an Olympic gold medalist, but to put.
Oh yeah, I mean
now
I'm
people
proud
know
of her.
who Hmong people are. No, not proud of. Not just saying proud of her, but now people know who Hmong people are because of her. Does that not make you proud to be Hmong?
It's just that one.
Or does that-
single-
Yeah. Does that feel good to be represented, to be known, to be acknowledged
Yeah.
because somebody of your same culture or race made it? You know.
I mean, yeah, I guess I give a little, but like
Yeah.
for me,
like a
it's
role
just,
model, right?
You know, like I don't know, man. I don't know why people make that such a big deal. To me, honestly, like it doesn't matter to me.
Yeah.
You don't really care too much about it. Whoever plays, whoever represents you.
Yeah. Like for
Nobody
example-
represents me. I represent myself.
Yeah, for example, Madison, right? She really likes Sinisa Lee because she looks like Sinisa Lee. You know, it shows Madison that hey, it's possible for somebody that looks like you to make it
to make it
to the
that.
number one
Yeah.
spot in the world.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you don't have that self doubt,
Yeah.
you know,
When I think
as a role model.
when we look at it from like an adult point of view, there's that like it's cool, great, but like as a kid growing up, you're like, whoa, like that's someone who I can relate right there,
Yeah.
who's just like me,
Yeah.
who's a girl, who's Asian, who's Hmong, and just be like, I can do that. I can be
Right.
a Olympic. You know, hopefully my kids can be
Mhm.
one day be like, yeah, she was some of the first, and now we can
Yeah,
get to
or
the
like
Olympic.
if we're now that we're kind of talking about sports, another example would be like height, right?
Yeah.
Height matters a lot. So people are like, "Oh, I'm not tall enough to go pro."
Mhm.
But for example, Maradona was like 5'10",
Who's
short. Oh, probably the greatest soccer player in history.
that? Oh,
Yeah,
One of the greatest-
Argentina.
yeah, one of the
Oh.
greatest players in history of soccer, and he's only 5'10". He's a short dude compared to everybody else. Yeah,
damn.
but he made it. But imagine being a short person. Like, hey, if he made it, I can make it, right?
Mhm. Allen Iverson.
Yeah.
Allen Iverson. He was only like what, 5'8", 5'9".
Hell no, you tripping balls.
I am just spitting bro
They
science.
just spitting fucking numbers out
Yeah,
there.
but
5'3".
but that's another example of you know
Yeah.
having a role model that fits you. You know.
I mean, yeah, I understand the inspiration and like growing
Yeah.
up seeing a role model, but like
For you personally, I guess.
for me personally, I don't really care.
Yeah.
because I got other stuff to worry about. You know, I'm not gonna
Right.
worry about
Who's gonna play this
wokeness. I'm not gonna worry about like, oh, mermaid is black. Like,
Yeah.
I got other stuff to worry about.
Yeah, there's that like
It's me personally.
there's that like
It's just like all distraction. You know,
Yeah.
I'm trying to eliminate all distraction. I
Yeah.
gotta focus on what I'm doing.
Yeah.
That doesn't bother me.
What about for your kids then?
Like what?
Like, don't you want representation for your kids? Like, don't you want your kids to see the possibilities and role models as well? Or
Like you talking about like the same example as like,
Like for you-
Madison?
yeah, like for you, it doesn't matter, right? But is
Mhm.
it important for your kids to have a role model that looks
mhm.
like them?
I mean, it depends on what they are into. You know, like if
Oh yeah, I mean it doesn't matter what they're into as long as they have a role model, right?
It's just like
yeah, I
Yeah.
guess that's
Yeah.
a huge. It's big to have a
Like
good
you're
role
a
model.
big Kobe fan, right?
Right.
Yeah, that's a role model for you to play basketball.
I just play just
Yeah,
be active, but I'm
not
not
go pro or anything. But
right.
yeah, he's a
It's-
good role model.
Yeah, just to like I guess if you wanna like build yourself, build character. I don't look at it as their skin color. I look at more
Yeah.
of the characteristics, their value, their morals, and all that stuff. That's more of a greater, like a greater view.
yeah,
I just don't look at it like, oh,
Yeah, I think you're saying again for just looking at it from an adult perspective, looking at it from
yeah,
a kid. First
Yeah.
thing they see is color.
right.
Jeremy Lin. We saw Jeremy Lin back then. It was great. Asian dude, Yao Ming,
yeah,
even better.
yeah.
yeah.
Oh, I mean, even like Jackie Robinson was the first black baseball player, you
Yeah.
know, and that was a big deal,
Yeah, that
right?
was like
Mhm.
just that one little like.
Yeah, so when Yao Ming and Jeremy Lin
yeah,
popped
Yao Ming,
in,
Jeremy Lin,
yeah.
it's just like like we could actually get in there.
it's just like Dow, how he was in the
Gran Torino.
Mulan. In
Mulan.
Mulan. Yeah,
Yeah.
how a Hmong guy got a role in Mulan.
Yeah, that was pretty cool,
Yeah,
right?
That was pretty cool. You see
Yeah.
a Hmong guy representing, Hmong people.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Being
that
more.
was- yeah.
Yeah, just like
Dao-
some
Dao
girls in,
Moore.
Yeah.
Batman.
So
What?
as cool as it is, right? Yeah. How cool was it
the
when
two girls
they
in the
spoke
Batman
Hmong in
movie
Batman? That
spoke
was
Hmong
so
in
cool.
Batman.
Wait, what? There was two
Yeah.
Mongols in Batman?
Yeah, they spoke Hmong in the Batman
Wasn't
movie.
that,
Did
you
guys-
the Dark Knight?
Mignon, the-
Did you guys know that in the
Something like that, right? He's
don't
still
remember
there or
seeing that.
something.
Yeah.
It's at the beginning.
there's a scene in the Scorpion with The Rock.
Oh no,
Do you remember that where the
it was
mummy-
the Mummy. Not, I don't think it was.
Well, I mean, yeah, it was the mummy. My
Yeah,
bad.
yeah,
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 Where
yeah.
That dude was like, he said something, but I can't remember what
He
he
says-
said.
Jehovah Baku.
Something like that.
Mom, but that's the coolest part in the Mummy when the
Yeah.
Mummy first wakes up. You guys haven't seen
that
it.
I haven't seen that one.
The
No.
Mummy first wakes up, right?
Yeah.
The Mummy one, and the
Yeah.
dude's going through all his necklace. He brings out a Buddhist necklace and he talks in Hmong. He
Oh,
goes,
does he really?
Jehovah Baku.
Yeah,
No.
it's very
It's
very bad, but you can
How cool
understand.
is
Yeah,
that?
it's been a minute for that.
Now, how would you guys feel if a white guy played that role?
It'd be funny as fuck.
Well,
but
the guy that plays that role was like
he
Middle
was-
Eastern.
Yeah, he was like,
descent.
yeah,
yeah.
And he said that?
Well, no, he had
He
like
had all these
in
chains.
the context of the movie, he had like every religious trying to
Mhm.
protect himself from the movie. He had a cross, he had a Jewish star, he had a Buddha,
rosary,
he had
all that.
everything to protect him.
He
going
was
through it.
everything.
And he was the one that said that.
The Hmong word.
Oh.
Yeah, he said all the other ones too. But,
Oh, okay.
Oh,
okay,
really?
okay,
He
yeah.
said that. I haven't
Yeah.
watched it.
and in
Oh.
Batman, the girl from Gran Torino is in
Yeah.
Batman that says those Hmong lines.
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah,
right in the
yeah,
She
yeah.
has a little role. Yeah,
Beginning.
yeah.
I don't remember that.
What Batman part is
Yeah,
this?
what Batman?
I think it's a.
Third one. I think it was the third one with
Third one?
Bane.
Oh, I don't
Is it that one
remember.
with Bane where he goes in under that cave and he finds?
Oh yeah, they're like
girls.
locked up in a
They're
jail
locked up in a
somewhere.
jail.
Okay, it might be the third one.
Yeah, I think it is the third.
I don't
one.
remember exactly,
Yeah.
but it's not the first one though.
Yeah,
I haven't watched it.
Yeah, but like
I mean, yeah, I
so
guess.
now we know how
Yeah.
cool this was. But when does it go too far, right? Why are these movies sucking then? If they're doing all this for us,
Yeah.
are they not representing us? Why is these movies sucking? Why is it not cool?
I guess I get two sides of the story. I understand two sides. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think what people are missing more is just a good story, like just a genuinely good story where it feels natural to just have friends of color, not just
Yeah.
oh I want an Asian dude just because we need an Asian dude or
Well, so y'all know about the movie the Woman King, right? Where Viola Davis and they're like a
Oh.
tribe of like
Black.
yeah, like a
trailer.
African tribe that's like warrior women.
Yeah.
Y'all know what movie I'm talking about.
Yep.
So Viola Davis was doing a short interview on a premiere red carpet event or something, and she goes, "If you don't go watch this movie, then you support racism or something along those lines, right? If you don't go watch this movie, you're part of the problem or whatever." She
Oh,
said.
yeah.
What is that? What?
it's just like
I want to go watch that movie. That movie's.
Say it. It's awesome.
That movie was.
It's great.
Yo, it's all female cast actors.
You're part of the problem if you don't like it. You better say you like it.
No, it's not that I didn't. It's not because they had to be black. It had nothing to do with their race. It's just that movie. The storyline just wasn't great. It was just it was slow. Yeah, and all that stuff.
She was saying that if we don't go blow up this movie, we're telling Hollywood that we don't want black women in mainstream roles. That's what she was saying.
Yeah.
That if we don't go support this movie, that's what we're part of. Is we don't want black women to succeed. I'm kind of paraphrasing. You guys could go find the video on
Yeah.
YouTube or something. But yeah, is that
I think that's too extreme.
yeah. Would you say that's
just
like
because you're the first one to
extreme?
do it doesn't mean
Yeah.
we have to support you if it's not good, right?
It's not like Crazy Rich Asian where Asian people's like, you guys have to go and support Asian people. If you don't, you're racist and all that stuff. No.
Yeah.
I think that's just too extreme. Trying to use race to get money and all this stuff. No.
Yeah, if it's not good, that should be first, right?
Yeah. Like-
so like, we shouldn't go support a Hmong restaurant just because it's a Hmong restaurant. If the food is
Exactly.
shitty, then
yeah, if the food's shitty, then the food's shitty.
I'm not gonna give it a
Yeah.
high star review just because it's a Hmong place.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah. Yeah, it's just like that. I think wokeness is taking it too extreme
Yeah.
where
So race is one thing, right? I think we kind of covered the points of like race swapping,
Mhm.
like culture and representation.
mhm.
But let's move on to something that maybe is a little bit broader, maybe a little bit harder to define. Gender.
Let's go.
What?
This topic.
Gender equality or what?
So, a lot of movies, they're like sticking women. They're just sticking women into these roles that are so empty. There's like no substance to them. They're just making these women do all these stunts and all these things that mostly male main characters would end up doing, right?
Mm-hmm.
But they're not building these women up. They're just making them do strong things to, quote unquote, show a strong woman.
How strong women are.
Yeah.
And like, you remember that scene in Endgame where all the females, they came into one scene and you know, try to fight Thanos. You remember that scene?
Yeah.
Where
Mhm.
Miss Marvel and all the female superheroes try to fight Thanos, and that was like a one little quick scene. All the females were proud of all
Yeah.
that stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, like that.
I mean, that was okay for me, but some like Captain Marvel, right? Where they try to make her into like a Superman-like character where
Mm.
she no longer had any weaknesses and like
Mhm.
she was like, for me, the reason why it sucked is like her character just wasn't a woman anymore. Like there's no attractive woman qualities to her. She wasn't feminine. She wasn't sexy.
She had to be
wasn't.
masculine.
She wasn't intelligent. She wasn't none of that ambition. None of that to me anymore. She was just a girl version of Superman
A Superman.
with Superman talent. Not even Superman personality or nothing. She just could do Superman stuff, right?
Yeah, yeah. I don't know. I get the movement. They're trying to make females be more represented in the movie scene because I guess back then females were always the second character, the background character, and all that stuff. Now they're trying to make females more represented in the Hollywood scene, and I guess it's okay, but I don't know.
How do you make a strong female character, though?
A strong female character.
Yeah.
Well, how do you make a strong man character?
Saving the world.
Superhero like saving the world.
That's a good question, B. Why men considered strong?
You gotta make him like Arnold Schwarzenegger. That's why. That's why.
The Terminator. Wasn't there a female Terminator though?
Yeah. Well, the last one that sucked was it sucked because they tried to make the main
Character.
protector
Oh.
freaking male or female Terminator 2. Like she just showed up as a female Terminator. Like why?
There was no plot. There was no story. It was just a insert character.
Yeah.
I don't know. I haven't seen that movie.
Mhm.
I don't know. What do you think of it? Like,
I think what's going on, and maybe this is not just entertainment, but women. I don't know how to say this without offending anybody, so I'm just gonna try to say it
offend
the way
them.
I understand it the best. Is I think there is a miscommunication of what strong women qualities look like. So they're trying to make these women strong by giving them strong men quality. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Yeah. Superman could punch through a wall, so now they're just gonna make a woman go do it too to show that a woman can be Superman as well. Does that make sense? They're just
Mm-hmm.
they're taking men stuff and just putting boobs and
Wrapping it around.
yeah, whatever on it. Does that make sense?
Mhm.
Copy and paste.
Yeah, it's not real woman. It's not a real woman first,
Mhm.
and then she can punch through a wall. Does that make sense?
Mhm.
What do you think females should do? Punch through a plate?
I mean, when I say real woman, I'm not saying like biologically, but like characteristics of a woman, feministic characteristics. You know, being feminism doesn't make you weak. The word being a feminist, having feministic qualities is not weaker than masculine
Yeah.
feature.
Yeah, there's pros and
Yeah.
cons to it.
Yeah, it just means one is more geared towards men, one was more geared towards
Mhm.
women. That's it. Like soft skin, right?
Females have soft
I
skin.
got pretty soft.
Majority of females have soft skin. Like I don't. Maybe they do put lotion on more than most men.
Yeah,
but
they do.
I don't, but
That's what they do, though. That's what feminine quality is.
yeah,
You know, they want their skin to look smooth, nice.
yeah. I mean, I like soft skin. No, why-
Do you?
Does that make sense? And I just felt like Captain Marvel. I know we keep using her as
Mm,
the poster
yeah.
child for this, but I just felt like she just didn't have soft skin. Does that make sense? Yeah, I know that might be a bad example, but that's a quick one. It's like I just felt like she didn't have the soft skin to be attracted to that character.
So are you comparing her to like Superman?
Yeah, like she just they just took Superman's powers
Mhm.
and slapped it on a woman.
Mm-hmm.
Does that make sense? And then
Not-
oh
not-
look,
I
everybody
would-
look, this is a strong woman now because it
I
can
would-
do
I would
everything that
say
a man
not-
can do.
Not powers, but more that the whole masculine
Right. Not all the exact
mentality
powers,
of
but yeah, right.
wrapping it around her instead of just her peeing,
Mm-hmm.
coming out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And like She-Hulk, right? You
Mhm.
watch She-Hulk?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, She-Hulk, like, she just got all the Hulk's powers. And guess what? This girl, all she wants to do is date and work on her career.
And
Like,
be a lawyer.
yeah, like the male Hulk is trying to save the universe.
Mm-hmm.
And you're over here worried about your job. Like, who's going to take that character serious? Like, yes, I get it. That is your right
Yeah.
to not want to be a not save the world. But
Yeah.
who's going to take you serious now that one gender is saving the world and the other one is worried about their Tinder account?
I know.
Yeah.
That's exactly what happened.
Yeah, that's
Right,
pretty much
right?
what happened. We're just trying to find a date, and it was just like, where's?
Exactly. So they just gave this, again, female
And then the ending was the
Hulk
dumbest.
powers. Yeah, they just gave a female Hulk powers and then not have her do anything special with
Like
it.
the thing is that they only created
It-
a female Hawk because society, the wokeness.
Yeah, they want a
wanted
strong female, so they
Hulk.
just gave it the strongest powers, and then
They didn't build a story around it. It was just, oh, I got the powers. I don't want to be a hero.
Yeah,
I'm gonna go on dates.
she didn't
I'm
have
gonna worry about my lawyers.
exactly. She didn't have
Like,
the
what's
soft
the point of
skin.
Yeah.
even making that movie if she's not going to be a part of the
Right.
Yeah.
The universe.
Yeah.
Yeah, like why
Okay.
can't women have soft skin and have Hulk powers, right?
Yeah, yeah. There
Yeah,
was.
that's what we're saying. We're not
yeah.
saying you can't be as strong as the Hulk. We're saying have Hulk powers and have soft skin. Yeah.
It's like just like in the original Hulk, it's more just Dr. Banner found the got mutated, and then he wants to find a cure for it. But then through going through the storyline is he embraces the thing that happened now. That's a story.
Yeah, so a good female strong character example would be Linda Hamilton in the first two Terminators. Her character, right? The girl's main character, Sarah Connor, right? Because she becomes like, she works out, she becomes military trained, she can shoot guns, she's like a wanted fugitive, like a badass. But at the same time,
Yeah.
in the movie, she's also a mom. She cares about her kid. She's like trying to find a father figure for her kid. She's like, she breaks down and cries in the middle of the movie when she has her moment. You know, she realizes what she's doing is wrong. She cries. And that's okay.
And those are relatable.
Yeah,
Okay.
she's a mother figure. Yeah, in the movie.
She
And
has that
she's
feminine.
still,
attribute.
yeah, she's still feministic. She's still caring, loving. She has that soft skin when we need that soft skin. But yet, she could take down anybody if she needs to with a gun. Yeah, she can shoot shotguns and fight. Yeah, futuristic aliens. That's how you write a strong female
Yeah.
character, right?
Yeah.
Aliens.
Yeah,
Aliens
aliens.
is a good example.
Yeah.
too. Aliens is a good,
Exactly.
really good example.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I haven't seen a movie. You guys are naming all movies I haven't
Yeah,
seen.
those are old movies.
Ew.
Yeah, you should
been a
watch these
while.
movies instead of
Yeah,
movies like
yeah.
The Flash.
Alien, Terminator. I couldn't keep up with Terminator.
Yeah, just watch the first two. Don't watch the other ones.
Or Crafting Tiger, Hidden Dragon.
Yeah, see?
That's
Oh my god.
Great example.
Yeah,
of it.
Michelle Yeoh's
Yeah,
character.
Michelle Yeoh's character.
Oh,
has that.
both
Yeah.
female characters. All three actually.
Yeah.
All three characters.
So how do they have these actors portray?
well, part of it is not really the actors or actresses' fault. It's more of these studios. They're trying to push this.
No. I'm talking about in the movie that you just named. Like, why were they such good characters?
Oh, like Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon.
Yeah.
That one's on Chai. It's been a while since I watched these.
You
movies. I
said-
just know it.
So Michelle Yeoh's character is, she's like a older woman. She's like 40 some maybe, no relationship, single still.
Mm-hmm.
But her and what's the actor's name? Lee Mubai, the Stephen Chow, or not Stephen Chow. Oh yeah, it is Stephen Chow.
The guy actor.
Not Stephen Chow. Not Stephen Chow. Oh, I forgot his name. But the main character, the main actor. You guys know who I'm talking about, right? In
Nope.
Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon.
I haven't seen that movie.
Well, they have a love relationship, right?
Mm-hmm.
So that's her feministic side.
Mm-hmm.
She's very gentle. She's
Mhm.
very soft when it comes to that. But she is also a martial artist, wushu master. Like
Mhm.
she travels the world, beats people up, right? Yeah, so that's a good example. The main character, the girl herself that steals the Green Destiny sword,
Mm-hmm.
she wants to be an old school hero. But she's struggling between being a daughter, being forced marriage, or following the guy that she falls in love with. So she still struggles with that as a woman, but at the same time, she pretty much can beat up anybody. Yeah. So those are good examples of still being still having that feministic attractiveness while can kick ass, while can lift up cars, while can stand up to financial burdens. You know, he's still working 10 jobs. Yeah. So you still need that. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's more realistic.
Yeah.
Where you just have her be a superhero 24/7. Yeah, it just looks weird.
Yeah, well, even men, right? Even male characters, Well, we've been talking about superheroes, so we could just keep going with that. But they still struggle, like the Hulk, right?
Mhm.
Strongest character, probably, maybe in the Marvel, strength wise.
Yeah.
But he's abused child. He's like an orphan. He's like he comes from such a harsh background. Yeah, that it gives him such that he grows up and he just wants to defend weak people.
Yeah.
Yeah. See.
As a viewer, you could like kind of relate,
Yeah.
feel for that. Because
Yeah.
you're just like, shit, am I going through that? Or
Mhm.
Yeah, but now you have these
Right.
gender swaps where it's just, guess what? We're just gonna have a female character so that we can represent females.
Mm-hmm.
Make them be a guy in a
Yeah.
female body, pretty
Yeah.
much.
Yeah.
So that kind of leads to the next part where, if people aren't watching these movies, right? These woke movies with gender swaps, race
Yeah,
swaps,
yeah.
all these other swaps. If people aren't watching these movies, does that really say that our society doesn't really care about the woke movement? We're just faking it. We're just out here making noise to get clout about, representation. Let's be fair. But when these movies come out, we're not even watching them. We hate them. So do
Yeah.
we, as a society, does that show that, we're over this woke movement as a
Yeah.
whole? Does that show that? Is that evidence of that?
Yeah, with wokeness, I feel like it's only like maybe a couple percent, 10% of population. So when that movement happens, it's only like 10% of the population that goes watch these movies and all that stuff. So that's why they don't make that much money or profit from these movies, because it's only 10% of the population who wants these type of movements to happen and all that stuff.
Yeah.
And so, is it necessary? Yeah. I mean, it opens, all these discussions and all these stuff, but
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I don't think it's. So, welcome back to the podcast. It's a quick minute break. So, Chai, what was your question before we went to the?
Yeah, I was just asking, like, since all these movies with these agendas in them are doing so hot right now, is that a real reflection of what our society thinks of woke culture? Are people so afraid of being canceled that they're just supporting it? Just it's fake, right?
Just so it could go.
So yeah, they don't get hurt or they don't get canceled. But honestly, they don't like the woke culture. They don't want it. That's why we're not going to watch these movies with these messages in there.
Yeah, I would say it's not even the movies. It's also these other, like, for example, like Bud Light and stuff.
Yeah, even like
Yeah, so I wouldn't necessarily say it's just the movies. It's also these brands that's trying to build off of this momentum of being woke. That's why
Yeah.
they're trying to profit off of it, but it's not working because that's such a small percentage of society that supports that movement.
Yeah, so that's saying like go broke. I mean, go
Yeah.
broke. Go woke. Go broke.
Yeah, go woke or go broke. Go woke or go.
Yeah. So do you guys think that society, the majority of society, does not like woke this new woke movement? Not the original what it was meant to be, but what's happening now? What's been twisted into?
I think
Are we tired of it? Does it need to stop?
people just don't care. To be honest, people really just don't care. They're trying to focus on their life and trying to
Yeah.
build their life and better their life, and they just don't care about all these movement and stuff. It's just like B said, it's all really just a distraction,
Mm-hmm.
victimhood.
Distraction from what? What's the real distraction?
I don't know what I'm not in that movement, so it's something I can't speak about.
The real distraction. Are we gonna go there?
Yes, please.
I'm not
It's-
saying I don't have an unfair advantage in life.
I think it is to me I see it the same way. It is a distraction to keep you from being really woke and being controlled as a sheep.
Mm.
They got you so occupied arguing about what to call each other that you're not even trying to take a piece of the bread from the man, you know?
From the bigger
Mm.
picture.
Yeah, you're over here trying to take a piece of bread from your neighbor.
It's just kind of like you're
That's-
stuck in that comment section. You're just tagging each
Yeah.
other, commenting, just arguing on Facebook.
They're
like,
just trying to make you hate each other, so you're fighting for each other's piece of bread instead of
Yeah.
stealing from the big loaf that the big man has.
You're in a
Yeah.
Call of Duty Modern Warfare lobby, just
The
arguing
Matrix.
back and forth.
Yeah, that's what it
where
is,
You're
man.
supposed to be winning the game.
Like, guys, what is the
How it
real
is.
goal here? Right?
Yeah.
What's the goal here? Capture the
Exactly.
flag. Get 3 flags.
Capture the flag. Yeah.
Not fucking argue in the comment section.
It's
Yeah.
the Matrix, y'all.
That's the answer. It comes at when that's the answer to everything too. Is
Mm-hmm.
gun control, gender laws, abortion. A lot of that is distraction. I
No.
think it is.
Now, while it does play now in our society where like we're trying to rebuild and reform it,
Yeah.
it's gone too far to where like people just want to live their lives. They just want
Kind
to
of.
go through. I know there's a good amount of people where it's just like, I don't know. I help you, you help me. Forget my political, forget my social. Just you help me, I help you. There's no if ands buts about that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And I get it. A lot of these movements, when they start up, they do come from a good place. They
Yeah.
do have good intentions.
Yeah.
It does work at the beginning,
mm-hmm.
but then you get a group that hijacks it
Mm-hmm.
and turns it into something that it's not.
Yeah. It's
Like
just-
the Mong J4, right?
oh, did you guys go to this tournament?
That's another thing too.
I mean, if you think about it, it's the same thing. You know, what was the real purpose of it? Now you look at it, nobody wants to go, nobody wants to support it because,
It's just
No.
money hungry. It's petty. It's
Yeah.
yeah, just the same thing. Just,
yeah. Before it was to celebrate Hmong's arrival here.
yeah.
I talked about this with another guy, and he was just like, you know, like every big corporation now is just being corrupted. Now, how can
Money.
how can we as individuals change that?
Yeah.
You know, like instead of getting that notion of corruption, it's no, we're here to do good.
Yeah.
How do you break that?
Yeah. It's
Wasn't J4 started out as like to help the Hmong community celebrate and help the Hmong community and stuff?
I think J4 was originally started to celebrate the arrival of Hmong people into the U.S.
Mm.
40 some years ago. The date is like June or July 8th or 15th or whatever. It's an official holiday now.
Mhm.
I thought it was like May something. You thought like the Hmong Day?
Yeah.
When they arrived to the U.S.,
No, there's one in July.
I don't know.
Maybe I'm getting the dates wrong, but they did recently create some kind of Hmong Day. And I remember the debate because my dad was a part of that debate. They were going to do J4 weekend. And my dad was like, no, J4 is not the day that the Hmong people came. If we're going to do a Hmong Day, we need to put it on the official date that the first Hmong people started arriving.
General Ving Power.
Yeah, and then we could move the sports tournament to cover that weekend date if we want.
Mhm.
But we're just gonna have that day fall close to the 4th, so we can have the 4th weekend to celebrate. That's not
out of
true.
convenience of
Yeah, the
everyone's
convenience, yeah.
off and all that stuff.
Yeah, so it's I forgot the exact date, but there's a Hmong day though. But that's what the original celebration was supposed to be.
A celebration
So
of
there's a
our
Hmong,
people coming
yeah.
together. and
Now it's just business and all that stuff. Money,
Yeah.
profit. Yeah.
It just gets worse and worse every year. I mean, from what I've heard,
Mm.
I haven't heard anything positive at all
I mean, it
for
is.
the last 10 years.
It is a non-profit though. It's a non-profit organization. So, but like I said, even there's
A
some.
lot of nonprofits
Yeah.
are bad.
But they're still writing 1 million checks to this person to get paid because everybody who works there, they're gonna get paid.
Yeah, they are.
Yeah, so really, it's just this dude's gonna get a meal, and this dude's gonna get a meal. So really, is it non-profit?
It's pretty bad. Like in the Hmong community, how it's when you go to these flea market type events to sell vendor events,
Mm-hmm.
they're charging you thousands of dollars. When you go to like other events around the city, it's like $25 for a booth.
Yeah,
Not $50 for a booth.
yeah. I think one of those
Yeah.
booths over there in Monville is like 5 Gs or something.
Yeah.
5 Gs.
That's what we're saying. Nickeling, diming your own community. This year they wouldn't even let sports people bring a canopy, like a tent. They had to argue that. Yeah.
I don't know. I didn't hear about that.
Only 12
Damn.
volleyball teams initially signed up because there were so many regulations.
Mm-hmm.
No water allowed from athletes. No tent, no canopy allowed. That's why only 12 teams signed up. And then after some heated debate, they let people bring in more tents and stuff. And I think there's only like 16 teams or 20 teams only.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
Yeah.
Do you think they look at more of a security risk?
What do you mean?
Hell no.
Hell nah.
The reason why they don't want you to bring water in is because you could go and buy their own water.
They want you to buy their water for hell.
Yeah.
1 year, they didn't let any vendor sell sports drink or sugar or flavored drinks. But guess what? They got their own booth that sold flavored drink. That's the reason why.
Mhm.
That's
Money.
messed up. And all these vendors, they didn't even tell these vendors before. All these vendors, it was a small writing in the contract, so I guess it's fair. But all these vendors have bought thousands of dollars worth of drinks to sell,
Mhm.
and they brought over an official and says that if you guys sell these, you guys are gonna get shut down.
Yep. It said no pop and soda, no water. I think you could sell water, but no pop and soda, Gatorade, and all that stuff. Flavored,
Yep.
But they had their own booth and selling Gatorade and all.
Yeah, they had their own booth. to sell
$4,
Gatorade.
$5.
Yeah,
Expensive as hell. Yeah,
stuff like that, shady stuff like that. Is,
petty as hell.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they gotta stop doing. If they're really a non-profit for the community, they need to stop doing stuff like that.
Yeah.
They need to stop worrying about making the most money.
Mm-hmm.
They need to work. If they're making money to cover their event,
Mm-hmm.
then they need to give back more to the community.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I know they are. They are covering their event, or else they wouldn't be doing it every year.
Yeah.
They even fought for the rights to run that. You know that
To
this organization and the Lau family sued each other
what?
for the rights to throw this sports event,
Mm-hmm.
and this group won. Yeah,
Yeah. Yeah.
that's how profitable this is. Yeah.
Yeah.
So they're not even really. I don't know. I just don't see any of these Hmong groups putting any Hmong students through college. I don't see them financing any kind of real something for the community. Like, go buy a park for the community.
Like you have it.
Go buy,
Like the fucking 18 clan.
yeah, go rent a house for the Hmong community to use as a banquet hall or something.
Yeah.
Or, send one kid on a full ride scholarship every
Yeah.
year, or do something. I don't see or hear these groups do anything for the community except for throw parties all the time.
Yeah. All they do is fucking throw parties, get
As
drunk.
fundraisers, yeah. Use
buy
all the
beer.
fundraiser money to drink.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They just show up for their own board. That's all they do.
Wait,
Yeah.
you forgot the most important part, bro. Mustangs and the Corvettes, bro.
Mustangs and
Yeah.
No, seriously, they just throw these parties. They print out these certificates that they give to their own friends, and
Trophy. Go buy a trophy.
yeah, they just give these trophies to themselves, pat on the back themselves, and they just collect people's money.
It don't.
I-
know about it.
maybe I'm wrong. Maybe if you guys have seen some benefits, the views, please comment. Please educate me.
Yeah.
But a lot of these I haven't seen.
I haven't
Even
yeah.
from the main Lao family trickling down to the small clans. All these small their own individual clans.
Mm-hmm.
I don't see them helping out anything. They just throw parties over and over and over,
Yeah,
fundraisers, so they can throw another.
Mm-hmm.
Like, at the end of the year, they can throw a big family picnic.
Mm-hmm. That's it.
That's it.
And then, like you said, they don't put nobody in scholarships, pay for the scholarship, their
Yeah.
colleges and all that
Right?
stuff. Yeah, it's a scam, bro.
Yeah.
There is that talk, but there is some other groups out there that are doing things that are
Oh yeah.
helping the community.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm sure there are good groups out there.
Mm-hmm.
I'm talking specifically like the OG
Mm-hmm.
groups. I haven't personally heard anything. Unless, and if people are doing good, please
Mhm.
let us know.
Yes.
Please type in the comment. Please comment.
Mhm.
Please let us know what your organization, your Hmong organization, has done for the Hmong community,
Yeah.
so we can support those organizations more.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's some
Yeah.
clans, some organizations out there that are providing scholarships for
Yeah.
students. There are
Yeah.
other things that they do for the community that are
Right.
actually legit.
I wish those organizations would be more upfront. I mean, like more mainstream, so we know who they are, instead of all we hear is Lao family, right? 18 clan.
Yeah.
These people.
Those organizations are, to me personally, it's scam.
Yeah.
I don't support those family. I mean, not family. Those organizations.
Right.
Yeah. Like I said, what are they actually giving back to the community?
Mhm.
Nothing. Like I said, you don't. Do they support Sunisa Lee? Going to her Olympics and all that stuff.
Right. I
All
mean,
they did was do some jingle bell and that's
Mhm.
it.
like I don't know what their finances are, but that J4, if all their vendors and stuff are covering their expenses already, they should let people go in for free.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If they're charging vendors $3,000 for a booth spot, maybe they should let people go in for free. So there's a lot of people, so those vendors actually make their money back.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know how much they're charging for a ticket though. They're like
Yeah.
$20 or something.
I
Mhm.
don't
Yeah,
know. I think
$20.
last time I remember was like $12,
Oh,
something
yeah.
like that,
Yeah.
Yeah.
which is not.
It's not bad, but a ticket should be worth like $3, $2. Yeah. Or free.
Yeah, I don't know. It's just I don't see it working. And the voting is so BS too. I've been to one of these clan votings,
Mm-hmm.
How do they run it?
They had 3 dudes and everybody was just whispering to themselves to vote for their family member.
You vote with you.
Yeah. This is who we're gonna vote for, right? He's our relative. The other guy's not a relative.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody's whispering out front in front of everybody's faces.
Yeah.
You already knew who was gonna win. The person with the biggest family is gonna win. Yeah, and the most qualified, the guy that actually has a background in management and running nonprofits and actually did this as a living, had the least amount of votes.
Because they just don't know who he is.
Yeah, they didn't know who he was, but he worked with the Boy Scouts group. He worked in the Boy Scouts. He worked in other organizations before. His college degree was a background in this.
Like his resume was there.
Yeah, he had like 20 years of working in the community, and nobody voted for him.
That's the thing is that a lot of people with that background, they don't want to be put in charge of this organization.
Yeah, because nothing.
Yeah, this
Yeah.
organization don't
Is this
benefit
a-
him. Yeah, they know it's a scam too.
Yeah,
So.
I was telling my dad, like, you know why these Hmong organizations are BS scams? Because they become the patan, right, the president of the organization, and they pick their own board members. That's
Mhm.
not how businesses are run. The board member is supposed to be picked by the people to regulate the CEO of a
Mhm,
business, the
mhm.
president of a business.
Yeah.
But they just let the CEO or the patan pick their own board. This is all their friends, so who's going to regulate them when they make a bad decision?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, it's just all, yeah.
Bro, I agree. It's a good one.
Yeah,
Best
like
way.
they become Patan because their family vote them in, and they just
Mhm.
bring in all their family members to be their secretary, to be their treasurer, to be the board member. No, if you want these Hmong organizations to be real, you need to let the people pick the board
Mhm.
members.
Yeah.
Yep. So when the top brass, right, the CEO, the treasurer, the secretary, they're stealing money, they're being petty. Guess what? The board represents the people. The board will speak up. The board will
Yeah.
fire the CEO.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's how you make a successful organization. But these Hmong organizations, like I said, I know I keep saying it, and I'm bashing my own people, but I have to.
Yeah.
To be better, we have to hold other people accountable, and
Yeah.
they suck. They're BS.
Yeah.
You know, my dad tells me, well, how come you aren't, helping these organizations and trying to become a patan and be a community leader? It's like, it's all
It goes
BS. It's a
nowhere.
BS title. It's a
just
BS.
title.
just
Yeah.
goes
like-
It's a self-made title.
Yup.
Yeah.
Yup.
When one organization fell and another, when one dude is running it and the same people from the same clan don't like that guy, guess what? They quit. They go start up another organization,
Yup.
pick a new patan, and they just let that old one dry up.
Yeah.
They just split.
Yeah. Like I told you, that thing's a scam. All these Hmong organizations don't help nobody. They don't help the community.
Or at least we don't see it.
Yeah.
Yeah, unless at least we don't see it.
Yeah.
Yeah, at our level. I don't know what level they're helping at, but
Like, I don't see them helping out the Hmong artists and sponsoring
exactly,
them.
yes.
Yeah, and all this stuff. So it's yeah.
They're not building schools back in Laos for Hmong communities. They're doing
Exactly.
nothing.
They're taking this money and, like you said, just partying every fucking month.
Exactly.
Beer, go to all these Hmong bars and just starting fights and all this stuff. It's just nah.
Just end up on Facebook
Yeah.
markupping people.
Yeah. These organizations are fake. They don't benefit nobody but the people who runs it. Yeah.
Yeah.
So how can we as youths change that?
If
You know,
Mm.
if the OGs don't want to change, then we have to do our own organizations and run it our way and show them, or at least not participate in their agendas.
Yeah.
Don't go to their parties, boycott them. Don't go to the
And their quarrels. And
yeah. Don't support organizations that aren't giving back if that's how you feel.
Is that us being woke?
No, because we're not a specific group. We're just saying that they're scamming us out of our money, or they're not giving it back to the community the way they're saying they are.
I would say it's our.
We're not saying we're being oppressed or anything. We're just not supporting a business or service that is
said
not.
they were gonna.
Yeah.
that's
Does that
not
make
helping
sense?
the community.
Yeah.
I mean, I would say it's kind of it'll be different from the wokeness of now. Our wokeness would be that these Hmong organizations are willing to do anything to help the community. So we're gonna start up our own organization to help the community for real.
Yeah.
I think that's kind of Hmong way of being woke. I feel like that's our way of being woke. Another definition.
A little, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah, somewhat.
Yeah. You guys want to start an organization? We would have to get a lot of fundings.
I already thought of a plan. I heard a business plan for one already.
Damn.
But mine is geared towards young adults of 16 to 21 only, though.
Mm.
Yeah.
That's just like Boys and Girls Club.
Kind of.
Yeah.
Yeah. But mine is geared towards more of financial education towards young people.
But
Oh,
how,
sorry.
Mm.
how would you
Financial
even run that with payment? CEOs, treasurers. Like, yeah, it's a nonprofit, but
Yeah.
Oh yeah, you would still have to run it like a
like a business.
business.
Yeah, you just have to run it like a
Yeah,
business.
but what we're saying is these organizations are making money, but they're not spending it back into the community.
Yeah.
If you're not making money to spend back into the community, you need to shut down.
Yeah, something's going on.
That means you're failing. You're not helping anybody.
Mhm.
As a nonprofit, as a charity, if you're not making enough money to give back, you're a failure.
Mhm.
Just because you made money to pay all your employees doesn't mean you should keep operating.
Yeah, it doesn't mean that you
That's
did
not the
anything
point of a
good.
that's not the point of a
Mhm.
nonprofit
Yeah.
or a charity.
You just kept people as their job.
You just
which is great,
you just
but-
took people's money over here and paying it to these people.
Mhm.
Where's the community work? Where's the charity? Who are you helping?
Where's the end product?
Yeah, where's the end
Where's
product?
the end product?
Yes.
Yeah.
Just like the BLM controversy that's going on, right? The
Yeah.
creator is paying all her family millions of dollars,
Millions
and
of
now they're
dollars.
Yeah,
in
millions of
debt.
dollars.
They don't have
Yeah.
enough money to pay their debts.
Yeah,
See?
that's crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
they pay the security guard like 1.2 million. So what?
Because it's like her brother or
Yeah.
something. Right?
Security guard got a
And
mil.
that's what's happening to these Hmong organizations. They're writing out blank checks to themselves,
Mm-hmm.
and they say we don't make enough money.
Mm-hmm.
And all the accounting and the receipts are
Yeah,
either through cash or just fake.
yeah. I mean, simple math, right? $12 a ticket for 40,000 people. How much money is that? Somebody got their phone real quick. Like,
Close to 4.8 million.
is that millions or 100,000? It's like 200,000,
Yeah, like
Yeah,
400,000.
I think that's 4.8 million.
Yeah, $12 times 40K,
Yeah,
right?
40K or 480.
Is it really? Is it really million?
Is it 4.8
No,
or
it's
480?
Under 500K.
500K, right?
Yeah, it's one of
See,
those two. Yeah.
480.
You just made 500K on tickets alone, not even vendor
Yeah.
expenses.
That's half
Don't-
a mil.
That park does not cost 100K to rent.
Maybe at most 50.
Yeah, you're making money.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We know you are.
Yeah.
Plus all the vendors and all the sports registration fees, and even if you're paying all the referees and security and you're renting out St. Paul Police,
That's
it will not cost you
nothing.
500K still.
They're
Yeah.
probably netting close to maybe 150 to 200, 230. or-
Profit, yeah.
Yeah, profit.
Mhm.
Net.
That's after everybody's checks are paid too.
yeah.
Yeah, see?
All vendors.
Where's that money going? Where's $10,000 going? Let's just start with $1,000.
Yeah.
You're not even giving. Where's $1,000 that being spent on the community?
Yeah,
I
exactly.
haven't seen any. Unless,
It's
like I
is-
said, unless I'm just not educated and I don't see your work.
Is it going to small businesses or
Yeah, is it helping?
you know?
Yeah, because if it is, and you guys aren't putting this information out there, you need to fire your marketing director and hire me.
Hell yeah. Like we've done this for the community.
Yeah, you need to hire your marketing, your publicists, because they're not doing their job.
I agree. Yeah.
Yeah, because the extension of it is that, like, while we do want to focus on the Hmong group, it's just not just the Hmong group. It's just people, minority of just whoever that we want to help out.
Right.
It's not just the Hmong group. That's how you grow and
Yeah,
scale up.
That's what I was asking my dad too. Is like, these organizations that you guys talk about, what is your mission statement? Nobody even knows. They don't even have a mission statement.
All they could say is just, oh, it'll help the Hmong community, but
Yeah.
that's just bullshit. That's just blabber.
Yep.
Yeah.
I was in this international group that I was participating in or at that time, and they voted, and they didn't even have an international vote. They just had a Minnesota vote, but it represented the international community
Yeah.
of that part,
Mhm.
of that group.
So some group in Minnesota just
Yeah, they didn't even count votes from Cali, North Carolina. What about the votes from Laos and Thailand? If you're naming yourself international,
mm-hmm.
if you're an international Patan, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, where's the vote from Cali? All the candidates for Patan was from Minnesota. All the votes happened at Hmong House.
For real.
Cali didn't get a vote. North Carolina didn't get a vote.
It was just whoever,
Laos, Thailand
whoever
didn't get a
showed up-
vote.
Whoever showed up is good.
At least have like a representative in Cali run a poll down there too, right?
I think it will be hard. Even to keep track of the votes from all the way in Cali would be hard. People could still scam that shit.
Well, I mean, like you would have a group like of people run a voting booth down there. Yeah, and it's not like 1 million people.
It's just like a
It's
camp.
more like 300 people, 300 votes to count only.
You gotta find somebody who's
Yeah.
righteous, who's truthful, who you can trust to keep track of all the votes. Yeah, it's gonna be hard. You can't just send a family member over there to keep track of all the votes.
Yeah.
Of course.
Well, see, back in the day, everybody wanted to be a patan or a naimban, right, or a little mayor because they get a salary from the
It's the
government.
title.
Well, it's not just a title back in the day. You actually get a salary from your local authorities.
Oh, really?
Yeah, to be the village chief or to be, a governor of some kind, you get a salary. And I don't know if OGs still think that you get a salary because you don't.
Yeah, now
They're just fighting for the title now. Here is only the title.
The little badge on the little.
It's not even an official title. It's just all your cousins named you.
I know.
It's just your clan group that named you.
Yeah.
It's not even.
I don't know how they do that every weekend. It's just a pool party to a wedding to a jingle bell. I don't know how they do that every weekend. That's hard.
I mean, I guess it all relates to the comes back to the Hmong culture. When you get married, you have the OG come here and represent you and all that stuff too. I don't know.
That's the cool thing about everything in life, though, is in nature, it always has a way of balancing itself out.
Mm-hmm.
So when we talk about wokeness, right? I feel like it's being balanced out right now. It was overcompensated, right? And then
There's another movement of people who just
people are pushing back now to
people are-
balance it out.
Mm-hmm.
people are
And I
pushing back.
think the Hmong community is the same, where you have all these OGs doing things the OG way, but it's slowly balancing it out with this new generation of Western culture in the Hmong community. And eventually, parts of the Hmong culture that is not useful or not practical will
Mhm.
disappear.
Mm-hmm.
The parts that still work will be kept.
Mm-hmm.
It's inevitable. It's nature. We can't beat nature.
Yeah.
That's just how things work in the end, you know. Even if it takes 1,000,000 years, it will find a way to balance itself out.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I agree. But it's
Mhm.
gonna take a while.
Yeah.
Like this whole movement, it's gonna be a while until it kind of dies down.
Yeah, it'll evolve the right way, hopefully.
Yeah, I
Like-
feel like it's just a trend.
Yeah, like Hollywood is losing all these money, and then we'll get some good movies in the next 5 years here
Mhm.
now, because if they don't make good movies, they're gonna go bankrupt. So they
Yup.
have to.
Yeah,
They
LA,
can't keep messing with all this.
LA Hollywood is dying.
Yeah.
They're trying to move it to Las Vegas. Vegas
Oh, are
is trying
they?
to become the new Hollywood.
Oh.
I think like Mark Wahlberg is like quitting and like bringing people all the way to
Yeah.
Vegas. So
I think one thing is Cali's economy is just too hard, too expensive to run there now.
Hell yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah.
much
Mhm.
tax, living costs is so expensive.
Yeah.
There's too many regulations, and it's just like it's hard to run a business there.
Have y'all driven around LA and like looked at house prices and stuff?
I wouldn't say driven around. I just kind of gone to Zillow and just kind of look at freaking houses.
Yeah.
Like a small little house, 2-bedroom house, million, dude.
Hell yeah.
Million for a house. I'm like, oh my god.
We were in LA and we were staying at Young's cousin's place, right?
Yo.
And he was telling me that they were trying to get into real estate too, and they were looking at properties, and a 1-bedroom studio apartment, $1,600. Studio apartment, like
Yo.
you don't get a bedroom, you just sleep and eat in the same room. Studio, yeah.
Yeah. So
Yeah, I agree. I mean, we were in San
In a bad
Francisco.
neighborhood, yeah.
It was just literally a 10 by 30 for 1,800.
A roommate,
with
your
nine,
room.
with 9 roommates. 9
$1,300 as a roommate.
1,800. We were paying 1,800 for like a 10 by 30. 1,800. Yeah.
That's just ridiculous.
yeah. When I was in San Diego, just for a studio was like what, 1,500. And this was back in 2013.
Yeah.
Yeah.
2013 or 15. Rent was already 1,500 for a studio. It's probably like 2 G's, 3 G's right now.
Yeah, it's freaking expensive.
New York is even crazier.
Oh, I bet.
You know,
Bro.
cooks in San Francisco right now on hourly pay, they're getting like $48, but it makes no difference.
Oh yeah, the
'cause
living.
the living cost is just too much. It makes no difference.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're making 6 figures, but you're just living like a $30K a year
Yeah.
in
literally.
other states.
$48.
Mhm.
Damn, I would love that.
$50 as a cook,
I know, I would love that.
like $25 as a McDonald's workers.
Great.
Damn.
Damn, that's fucking great.
I think pretty soon we're gonna be
Life
there.
would be simple.
$25
Oh, yeah.
for a McDonald's
even
employee.
even me now, because recently in the last 5 years I've become really frugal. I've become really saving my money a lot, you know, so I don't spend a lot.
Mm-hmm.
And so when I go out now, I'm like, this is an extra $5 now. Like, I felt so out of place.
Yeah.
Like, I went to go buy rice yesterday or the other day, and 50 pounds of rice,
Mm-hmm.
$61 for 50 pounds only.
Yeah, that's
Wasn't it used to be like 30?
Yeah, it was like $39.99 only or
Yeah.
something for 50 pound, and it was like 70 or 80 for 100 pounds, right? $61 and some for a 50-pound bag.
This is why you
That-
guys should become members of Costco and Sam's.
Dude,
That's
I want to go buy dog
Very
food. A
true.
50-pound dog food is $79.99, dude. Expensive as freaking dog food.
I want to go buy
Yeah.
pizza rolls, 130 count, $15. Freaking expensive.
It is so expensive now.
It is, Joe. and it's because of this woke. No, I'm just kidding. You're gonna blame it on.
Yeah, blame wokeness.
We're gonna be the movement, blame it on wokeness.
No, I just don't like the tribal aspect of these movements. You know,
Yo,
where it
There's
goes
that
too
side.
far radical and it just gets turned upside down and it gets thrown in my face and it gets shoved down my throat and it's like.
Yeah.
It's like you gotta love me. If you don't love me, you hate me. It's like
Yeah, it's like
I don't even care about you. But
Yeah.
right?
it's like you want me to. Yeah, I'll participate, but
Yeah.
don't shove it down my throat.
yeah,
Don't
yeah. I'll show
get in my
respect.
face.
I respect
Yeah.
you. You
Yeah.
respect me. Great. We are both human
Don't
beings.
call me a racist because I don't want to go see your movie, or a sexist if I don't want to go see your movie. It sucks.
It's not interesting. Come on.
Yeah,
It's like we go to watch a movie to escape reality, but when we go there, they're trying to just push reality on you. And
yeah.
twist your
The
agenda.
Cleopatra document. So the reason why it's so controversial, if it was fiction, so Gal Gadot, right, Wonder Woman, is being casted as Cleopatra in the next movie.
Mhm.
And her defense was, well, we couldn't find a Greek Macedonian actress. So that's
Uh-huh.
why they went with me. And I think she's Iranian or something. Or I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Whatever.
But yeah, yeah, that's her defense. But for the documentary, it's being labeled as a real documentary. That's why it's so controversial.
Like stats
Yeah.
and statistics
Yeah, like a
and
real,
facts,
like a information, educational.
Mhm.
That's why it's so controversial.
Yeah.
And the opening line is they have a expert on there, right? Of course, they always have these experts,
Yeah.
these doctors at universities and stuff. And she goes, "When I was younger, my mama or my grandma told me Cleopatra was black. It don't matter what the school told me, Cleopatra was black."
Mama said this. Mama said that.
So the whole point of that Cleopatra documentary, Jada Pinkett Smith is the executive producer, by the way. She created this. It's only 4 episodes long, but she says that how come we don't, there's been so many strong black queens or African American descent queens in history and nobody does anything about them. And that's why she chose Cleopatra. Cleopatra wasn't even African American.
African-American. Jeez,
She was
born.
Greek Macedonian.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. Yeah. Yeah. I think, like I said, I think this movement is just all trend. Eventually, we're all gonna move away from it.
Yeah.
I think for that to happen is we probably have to go to war.
I mean, maybe there's that.
You want equality?
Yeah, I mean, there's
Go to
that,
war.
There's that aspect of like we're all infighting with ourselves because we have nothing else to fight for. There's no, everyone's everywhere else where it's just like
So much
there's no
freedom.
one commonality of like if aliens were to come, we would all fight the aliens.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Yeah, like we wouldn't have to worry about.
And that goes back to what B was saying is what's the real truth? What are they trying to cover from us by making us fight each other, right?
Yeah.
The real enemy here is poverty, not equality.
Oh damn! Thought you were gonna say aliens.
No,
Aliens,
poverty
come
is
on.
the aliens. Yeah. Poverty is the aliens you're talking about,
Yeah.
though. But we're being distracted on purpose so that we don't focus on the aliens
Yeah.
or poverty.
Yeah.
We're fighting each other on what to call each other. Come on.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's one of those like.
Is that silly?
It's
We're
like
trying to figure out on what to label us.
it's like history repeats itself. Look at the Romans.
Exactly.
Yeah, at one point they were the strongest, literally the strongest freaking country, and it just falls.
Yeah, it's self-imploded.
Yeah, just inflating.
Mm.
I think in the next couple of years, we're just gonna go by our username. Pretty much. Gonna
I
be
mean, it's already
identified.
happening on social media. I don't know nobody's. If you don't have your real name, I do not know who you are on social
Dude,
media.
on Michigan just passed a law that if a person identifies as this pronoun, you have to go by their pronoun, or you'll get fined $10,000.
Or like, they have the right to sue you or whatever.
Yeah. And they could press charges if you don't identify this person as the pronoun that they want to be identified as.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, that's. I mean, I don't know. That's also another topic.
For next time.
Yeah.
Wait, Chad, you never explained why poverty is.
So if you guys think about it, right? All this race war stuff. If everybody had money, nobody would give a
Yeah,
flying F what color your skin is,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah. It's only poor people who gives a shit about all these other
Yeah.
stuff.
Men and women, gender roles. Nobody would give a flying F if everybody had money. People are fighting because, oh, women don't make as much money as men. Let's start a fight. Well, I'm not saying women started the fight. I'm saying a fight was started over that. And now it's led on to wokeness in our movies.
Those,
Trying to push that agenda.
Yeah, of equality and stuff like that. But if women never needed to fight for money in the first place, we would never have this
if that money was
evolved
there,
wokeness movement that we all hate.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So it comes from poverty. Yeah, all this like fat people, skinny people image, whatever labeling, it all comes from poverty. Right? If we had money to eat healthy, we wouldn't be fat. If we had money to eat any regular food, we wouldn't be too skinny.
Yeah, if I had money, I would be fat right now.
Yeah, if we had money, we wouldn't need to fight for people's war.
Yeah.
See, it's poverty is the main enemy here. But the reason why our society, our social society, doesn't focus on money is because money is finite. It's not infinite. So if poor people like us want money, we have to take it from somebody else.
Well, it's
So
people's
who do we take it from?
mindset that
The
money
rich
is
people.
finite.
Exactly.
Yeah. People's
So-
mindset is that money is finite.
But it is.
Yeah, to a certain extent.
I mean, you can
Yeah.
print money,
Yeah.
but the value goes down.
Yeah.
But that's what
yeah.
I'm saying is
yeah.
the valuable money is finite. And so the rich people are going to create all these issues, all these labels, all these equilibriums that make us fight each other, religion, all this stuff, right? That we cover our eyes with. Yeah. If we all, and I'm not saying I want a handout. I'm not saying, I'm saying that if we forget about all this stuff and we just go work our jobs and make the money that will make us happy,
Yeah.
that the government can't support that, we would not care about any of it. Like B said, I'm too busy to care about what to call you or what you're going to call me.
Yeah.
Right? Does that make sense? Poverty. Yeah.
It has stricken across all of the U.S. where it's just like, it's
Yeah.
just hard.
If you can somehow financially support the ghetto, crime will go down.
Mhm.
When crime goes down, you won't have a staggering amount of minorities from the ghetto that go to jail.
Stealing.
And I'm not saying that that is the correlation. I'm not saying that. I'm saying poverty will eliminate some of that. Maybe a lot of that. I don't know the exact statistics, but at the end of the day, why do people commit crime? They need money to eat. Yeah.
People are hungry.
Yeah. And I guess some people are out there robbing people because
Yeah.
they have a mental illness or they're just bad people. I get that.
Yeah, there are
Yeah.
bad people.
There's always an exception to the rule. I understand that. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about in general, the mass population. People rob gas stations because even if they don't need money for cigarettes and they need money for a prostitute, at the end of the day, they still need that money
My money.
to go spend. That's why they're robbing the gas station.
Yeah.
If they had that money to go spend on a prostitute, they would never rob the gas station. Guess what? The prostitute had money, there would be no prostitutes.
Mhm.
That's what I'm saying.
They would have to sell.
Yeah, if we had a strong economy that didn't have poverty.
Mhm.
Yeah. And taxing the rich is not the answer, by the way. If people are like, that's why we need to tax the rich more, that's not the answer.
No.
If all the 1% gave their money, it wouldn't even make a dent into our debt.
Into our
Well, that's
average
because the tax money.
Yeah.
trillion.
That's because the tax
Yeah.
money aren't going to where it's supposed to be going.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
It's
exactly.
going to war and all this stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And like Andrew Yang, right? His what did he call it? His
Universal basic
income.
income.
Why that's so important is $1,000 a month will bring almost everybody out of the poverty level.
Yeah, but at the same time, I think it will also inflate everything, though.
That's not how inflation works, though. Inflation is if you print,
I
if
mean,
your value of your money goes
no.
down. If you just
No,
give
not
money without
necessarily.
printing.
Not necessarily. Even
Where's that
The
1,000
reason-
coming from?
the reason why we're inflating right now, the prices inflation was because during COVID, they was just handing out money. Like,
Yeah, the difference
Handing-
though is
handing
that
out
was
money.
printed money though.
yeah, of course. Well, that's how you make money is by being printed.
Oh no, but Andrew Yang's universal income is not printed money.
It will have to be. It will have to come from
Mm,
somewhere.
Yeah, he had a tax system that would circulate that money back around, so it wouldn't cause inflation. Does that make sense?
I think it will still cause inflation.
No, inflation is caused by devaluing the dollar.
Yeah, because
But you're not devaluing if you're circulating the money. Does that make sense? You're not printing any new money. Andrew Yang does not want to print new money.
For you to hand out money, you would have to print out money.
No, but he had
The money can't circulate within itself.
no. That's what I'm saying. He had a plan to circulate that money around.
Yeah, I know. I was rooting for UBI once, but then
Yeah. So does that make sense?
it makes sense. But I still,
The reason why inflation causes inflation is, so this bottle is $1,
$1, yeah.
but because I have two, it's 50 cents each only now because it's less rare. Does that make sense? Before, okay, let's say we're all thirsty, and there's only one bottle of water. We're gonna bid the most to get it, right? But now there's two. It's gonna cost less per bottle because there's two. Does that make sense? Same thing with $1. If you only have $1 in the whole wide world, its value is $1. But if you have $2, right, trading, it goes down to 50 cents each. In terms of rarity value, but when you keep printing and printing and printing out of nowhere, it's the same concept. It just drops because your money equals your total GDP. Does that make sense? So if your country is worth $100, you could print 1 billion bills. It would still be worth $100 only. Does that make sense? Am I explaining that correctly?
To me, how I get inflation is that when we start printing money, if I'm a supermarket and I'm selling this bottle originally for $1, and then the government start passing out money, now I know that he has more money than he has a lot of money now. I know he could buy this for more than $5. So I'm gonna price this at $5.
That's not how inflation works.
When this was originally $1.
That's bad version of capitalism.
Yeah, that's not how inflation works.
That's the John Welch.
But
Supermarkets don't control inflation like that.
That's what's happening right now with this recession is that everything is so expensive now. Cars, food.
But
is so
yeah, the
expensive
reason why is
now.
because we printed money.
Yeah, exactly. That's the
But
reason. That's why
Andrew
inflation-
Yang was not going to print money. Does that make sense?
I think for Andrew Yang,
Just
to
because
make
you
that
have more
happen,
money
you have to
doesn't
print
mean money was printed. Yeah.
There's no
so
other way.
so his plan was Facebook makes money from selling your information untaxed.
Ads.
So he's going to tax that income and use that tax income to give back to us.
Yeah, the data. He's
Yeah, so that money is not inflated.
Mhm.
It's being circulated.
The money came from.
Yeah, it's not being printed. It doesn't add to the pool of the existing money.
But still, people will still raise the price of stuff because they know they're getting that money for free and they're gonna start spending.
They won't because the value in my hand is still the same. So if you raise up your price, guess what? I'm going to go to that supermarket. You're just going to lose
Yeah,
business.
competition is still there.
Yeah, the competition is still there.
Yeah.
Inflation is when my value in my hand is now lower and your prices goes up, that guy's price, and it's not because you raised it. It is because the cost of you buying it goes up too. Yeah, that's why you raise your price.
Yeah, and
You're not raising your price just to take more of my money. You're raising your price to cover your butt.
And that's pretty much what inflation is.
Exactly.
The price of stuff.
But
goes
your
up.
example of when I'm just going to raise my price because I know you got more money, that's just you being greedy. That's not actual inflation.
That
you might
pretty much
be-
is inflation. It's just like how
It's not.
cars
It's
are.
not. That's just personal pricing.
I think you might have gotten it wrong with supply and demand, in my opinion.
No, that
Or what
too.
Fang saying?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean-
Exactly. Yeah, supply and demand.
Yeah, and that's what happened to inflation. Everything went up.
So the individual
hard.
doesn't control inflation. Fang,
Even with chips.
as a business owner, you can't control inflation. You can't be like, I'm just going to charge more because I can. That's not, you can't control inflation. Inflation is,
Kind of.
no. That's not inflation then. That's just you pricing your product at
That's
your
what
store.
I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. That's what it's
So
called.
that's not what inflation.
People know that they're having a shitload of money. And
No,
that they
that's
have
not
money.
inflation though, Fang.
That is
Inflation, that's not inflation. You're not decreasing the value of the money in any way. The money is still there. Inflation is the value of your money. It's not the price of your product. Does that make sense? Inflation is the value of the dollar going down. Inflation is not the expense of your item going up. So gold, people keep saying the price of gold is going up.
Because it's
no,
limited supply of goals.
the price of gold is the same, except for the value of the currency is down. So now you need more of that currency to buy the same amount of gold. So gold has never increased in value. Its value just stayed the same. But the reason why it looks like it increased in value is because the dollar has lost its value. So you need more of it to buy the same amount of gold.
It lost its power.
Exactly. So that's inflation. If you're just a private business and you're raising the price of your goods, that's just a business decision. That's not inflation. That your customers' value of their money is still the same value amount. So that's not inflation.
You just added $15 on top of it
Because I wanted to.
you wanted to.
Yeah.
The value of the product just increased.
Right. The dollar value is still the same.
Yeah.
Your product value, your product expense just went up. That's not inflation.
Oh,
Inflation is the value of your currency going down, or not worth what it
yeah,
used
and that's
to be.
pretty much what inflation is. Your currency.
No, but you're just increasing. No, you're just increasing the product.
exactly,
price.
and that's what's causing inflation. Is
No.
because you're making the dollar less.
But by increasing the price of the bottled water, it doesn't decrease the value of the dollar.
It does because that
It
dollar.
doesn't.
that
I could
dollar's
go.
not
I could
worth
still go
dollar
buy a
anymore.
bottle of water from that business for the same amount for $1 still. You're the only
Not
one
really.
charging $2 for it.
Not really.
Can
'cause
somebody
everybody-
let Fang know what inflation is?
I know what inflation is.
Hey, you're not. You're
Yes.
not. It's a
Why
wrong.
this bottle
Who's right? Who's wrong here?
This bottle used to be like $2. Now they're selling it for $5. Now that dollar's not worth it anymore. Now a dollar. Now you can't buy anything without a dollar.
Because it's
anymore.
not because the bottle went up in price. It's because the dollar went down in value.
And
that's the
because
difference
The
of-
product went up
That's
in price.
no.
So
See,
the
that's what
dollar's
I'm
not
telling you,
worth
Fang.
it anymore.
I'm telling you the definition. I'm not making this up. This is not an opinion.
Let's look it up.
Yeah, look it up. What inflation is. The value of the water did not go up. You're still getting 12 ounces of water.
8.
8 ounces of water. It's still water. Gold is still gold. It's still, this planet has a set amount of gold on it. So gold won't increase in value. Does that make sense?
Inflation, an action of inflating something or a condition of being inflated. A general increase in price and fall in purchasing value of money.
Exactly.
So
See?
the reason why a dollar's not worth a dollar anymore is because this product went up.
The dollar is not worth $1 because there's too much printed out. So therefore,
There's too many
it
dollars.
seems like this is being rose in price. It reads it. It says the value of the dollar goes down. I'll read it.
Yeah, the value of the dollar goes down
It
because
says-
this product is worth more now. So a dollar
A
can't
general
buy that.
increase in prices and fall in the purchasing value of money. See, the
Yes.
price is being raised because the money is falling in value.
Because the dollar's not worth it anymore. You can't buy anything with a dollar
exactly, so
anymore.
inflation.
So that's pretty much what inflation is. You can't buy a bottle for $1.
So we're not.
anymore.
So okay, I guess. So we know the effects of inflation, but our disagreement is on the cause of inflation. We agree that inflation causes expensive stuff. That's the cause, right? Right, B. That's the effect of inflation.
Things are more expensive.
What we're trying to, the point I'm trying to make is how inflation
caused.
comes to. And our initial argument or our initial startup point was Andrew Yang's universal income was not going to create inflation because he's not printing money. The value of the dollar does not drop, therefore is not going to create inflation. That was the original point, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So the what you're arguing is the effect. Yes, when inflation happens, things are going to be more expensive or seem more expensive. That's the consequences. That's the outcome. But what causes inflation is where we differ in our explanation. Is inflation is the value of money going down, not because people want to charge more for a product.
Then yeah.
So we're
If
two
prices,
different
are,
concepts.
if prices are going down, that means everything is going up. So that means the dollar.
So the
doesn't have-
value is going down. The
value
value
of
of the money is going down because it's being printed. That's what
Then the value of
That's
the
the whole
product
point.
is going up.
the whole point I'm trying to make is Andrew Yang is not printing money, so there's not going to be any inflation with universal income
It
with
doesn't-
his plan at least. I don't know if other universal incomes will print money, but according to his plan of what I know, it was not going to print money. It was just going to take money from these corporations
Correct.
and give it back to the people. So there's no inflation.
Yeah, but if you understand that if this person is making more a year and he could afford this bottle of water for $5, why
Right.
not sell that bottle of water for $5?
That's just a business decision. That's not inflation.
That's inflating the price and you're lowering the cost of
Oh,
the value of a
Now,
dollar.
if you use that say, if you use that word in that sentence, I can inflate a balloon by making it bigger. okay, I can inflate the price of this water bottle by increasing it more. Now we're talking about something totally different.
That's a personal decision.
That's
though.
something, yeah, that's not inflation, economical inflation itself.
That
We're
is
talking about
inflation.
economical inflation. You're
Yeah,
talking
that's-
about,
You're inflating the price of this car. That
right, that's not inflation. That's
that
not,
is inflation.
that's
It's just
not-
called markup.
yeah, that's called markup. That's a fancy word for saying I'm going to blow up this balloon to be bigger.
Yeah, marking up the price. That's inflation. That's what.
That's
inflation is.
the
That's
so
what
you want to argue the definition of the word making it bigger, or you're talking about
making it more
economical financial collapse where we're talking about Andrew Yang's financial plan? What do you want to talk about?
It's
It's two different things.
no, inflation is when the prices go up, and now you can't buy that dollar that you're paying.
So
to buy
I agree with you that inflation creates an increase in living costs. We are agreeing. I'm not arguing that anymore. I agree that that's the effect. There's a cause and effect.
Yeah,
If I punch you, you're in the nose, you're gonna bleed. The cause is punching, the effect is bleeding.
Actually, if you punch him in the nose, you're gonna break your fist.
That's another effect. Yeah.
so
Cause and
why-
effect, right? So effect is prices going up, but what is the cause is what I'm asking. Why does it go up? Your answer so far is because I wanted to.
No, it's not
Because
that. The reason
me
why
at the
it's going
store
up,
is
no.
increasing.
The reason why the prices of these is going up because people understand that now money is coming in quicker. It's easier to
That-
make money now.
And I'm telling you
so the
that
value of money is not worth anything.
no, I'm not, that's just bro science.
No,
You're just saying that. That's not any. I'm just gonna call it out. Yeah. That's just
No.
bro science. That's not a legit fact.
the reason why stuff are going up is because
Well, okay, let me ask you
there's
why
supply and
why is the
demand.
value of the dollar going down?
Because there's so much money printed out there.
But it's not being printed out.
It
I'm not
is being
saying.
printed out.
Let's say
When-
we stop
when-
printing out today. Is the value of the dollar still going to go
So
down
The
tomorrow?
reason why money was printed out was during the
Okay, stop.
during COVID.
We're going to tangent too far now.
no. Well, the reason
No.
why we're going to a
We're going to
recession-
tangent too far. It's going to get too confused. I'm just bring it back to simple. If we stop printing money today, will the value of the dollar still
the
go down
value-
tomorrow?
Yes, the value of it go back to a dollar. A dollar would be worth a dollar. You could buy $100 worth of product would be considered a full. If you go to, you know how back then you go to Walmart and you could buy $100 worth of product and put it in your cart. But now $100 is only like 4 or 5 product in that cart now.
I think
That's
the gold
inflation.
example is probably the best way to show what inflation is. How gold did not go up in value because nobody controls the price of gold, right?
You know why? Because
But
the supply
currency-
for gold is not there. So that's why gold is worth so much right now. It's still worth so much because gold is a limited supply.
I mean,
That's
that's
why.
well, my.
But these water bottles aren't unlimited. You could print these water bottles for 50.
I know that, and that's why gold is such a good example for inflation to prove my point that
Because there's a finite.
yes, because gold doesn't go up in value is because your money goes down in value. That's why gold seems to cost more, and that's the if after that example, if you don't, I don't know what else to say. We're just gonna have to agree to disagree after that example.
All right, man. I'm gonna say this.
Yeah.
It's been a long while, but we should probably call it.
Oh, dang.
We'll call it episode.
Yeah, I guess we'll end it here. Agree to disagree. See what you guys say. Put it down in the comments.
Yes.
If you guys agree.
Y'all explanation to us in the
Yeah,
comments.
maybe we're both getting it wrong.
Yeah, maybe we
I don't
both could be
know,
wrong.
But
I don't know where y'all went to school, but I didn't go to school with you guys.
We both could be wrong, but not me.
I mean,
I'm
nah,
right. I'm right,
I
but
wouldn't
yeah,
say
you know.
that. I wouldn't say that. But
But yeah, guys,
okay.
like and subscribe.
All right.
Take a look at our Patreon. That'd be great. Any last words from you guys?
Nope.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah,
We'll see
we've
you
guys
it's been a
next
super
time.
fun journey so far. We're still learning.
All
All
right,
A
right.
little harder, no babysitter, so that's the reality of no babysitting. You just gotta
Today,
own up. Yeah, so hey, knock out what you got.
yeah. Thanks for coming on this journey. See how we're messing up and see what.
Yeah.
All right.
man. See you
Let's
guys.
end it there. See ya. Peace.
Bye.